We do this for the culture. Yeah. You can tell I stay fly just by looking at my kicks. $1 million mind frame with plans to get rich. Kicks and culture.
DJ Ric Flair.
My man.
How did you get that name, man? We got to hear the story about DJ Ric Flair's name.
So really, my granddad, diehard wrestling fan. So that was our thing. We watched wrestling. So, moving forward years later, me, my mom, my best friend, we were sitting there, I was like, okay, I gotta get a DJ name. So we went all around the world. My best friend, he was like, I'll just call you Ric Flair. I'm like, he like, cause you flashy, like, I like, you know what? Hey, that's it. That's it. So yeah, so I was like, well, I'm gonna get big one day, so I gotta switch the spelling. Okay. So I won't get sued. Because Ric Flair might get old, he get broke, try to come sue me. So
copyright infringements and all that.
He old now too.
So that's it.
Oh, okay, all right. So it just started with the wrestling, and you still watch wrestling now? Nah. It's a done deal.
How long have you had the name?
Day one. 17 years.
17 years? You've been DJing for 17 years?
17 years.
That's dope.
All right, so I know we got a panel of everyone who has some type of connection with music in the industry. How do you know if you got a hype song? Or do you know if you got a hype song? Can you hear it? Or what makes one?
Sometimes you can hear it, and sometimes it's trash, but it's trendy.
Trash and trendy.
If it makes sense.
Bad and bougie.
Like,
trash and trendy.
I can't even say.
Not the name of a song, but
yeah, because I was gonna give you a song. I was like, man, that's my partner song. But it's just think of a song that's just catchy. Okay. But you really, when you listen to it, you're like, what is he talking about?
Right.
But it's catchy.
Okay, all right. So that can be a hype song. Do you know it's hype before it catches on? As a DJ.
Yeah,
like,
you are the DJ.
At first, I didn't. But once I started going on tours and being on the label side, then I said, okay, well, it's trash, but it's gonna work.
It's gonna work. Yeah. So, Josh, have you ever worked with an artist where you ever worked with an artist who's just like, but then again, he's like, you know what, I can work with him in some type of way, or her.
So I try to go into every situation giving every artist a fair chance. Now, I may not be fond of every song, but me as a producer, I try to bring out the best in the artist. That way, deep down, I know whenever we do drop the record, I'll be satisfied with it. That's why I like to be hands-on as a producer. If I can, be involved with the recording process and whatnot and give my input and my vision, then I feel like that'll help the finished product, like be at least respectable. I don't want anything trash attached to my name.
Wait a minute, so I was just about to ask you that. So how long you been producing?
Give or take about like 12 years.
Okay, so from day one to now.
Yeah.
At first, did you like, man, he trash, but I just want this bag right quick.
Well, but the thing about that is I didn't get into it for the money though. I got into it for the love of it. So like the first few years, I didn't see a penny from producing, but I really didn't care because I was just trying to get my feet wet.
Correct.
Build up my name and whatnot. So like I said, I didn't do it for the money, but at the same time, I knew I still wanted it to be the best product possible. So I always been big on being hands-on and giving my perspective when it comes down to the creative process of a song. Like I feel like, I can't speak on the next producer, but especially at the space that I'm in now, I got to be hands-on because every song is important. One song can change everything, so I treat every song as if it can be that song. So,
So albums, not necessarily singles.
It depends, but matter of fact, I just executive produced a project with an artist from South Georgia, Lil 24. We just dropped the project 2 weeks ago, and I was real hands-on with that project. And me and him both were just talking recently about, he was saying like, bro, if you wasn't so hands-on, the project may not have, come out the way that it did. So I feel like the producer, well, if you really want to be a producer, then you definitely should value, you know what I'm saying, being hands-on with the artists that you're working with.
So what if the situation is not hands-on?
Well, not sometimes that does happen. You know, it might be an artist that may not be near where I'm at. So that's why if you know that you probably can't be in like every studio session and whatnot, then the communication got to be on point too. So if I know I'm not gonna be in the studio with you, then we need to communicate. Like, bro, what you thinking about this particular beat? What's your vision for it? What's your ideas for it? So even if it's a situation where I'm not there, I still got a good enough relationship with whatever that artist is to where we on the same page, even if I'm not in the building with them.
And the reason I asked you that was because, like, probably, I can't even remember, it probably had to be 17, 18, Jay. Probably like when Young Dro did Hellcat.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that was me and Zaytoven.
Right.
So the new project finna come out with Zaytoven.
Mm-hmm.
And the difference was we were moving around so much that where Zaytoven just sent me everything. And then I had to be, okay, do it. But now Zaytoven walking them through it and I can see the difference.
Yeah, it's a big difference when the artist and producer got that chemistry like that. I feel like the product gonna always be better than just say if I just email the artist some beats. You know, the song still might come out okay, but I feel like it'll be even better if I was there or if the producer in general is there.
Even if that artist is a seasoned artist, I mean, a beginning artist, yeah, but if you shoot the artist those beats and he's a seasoned artist, and we just name someone like a Jay-Z or, you know, a very seasoned artist, do you feel comfortable with sending them beats?
Well, if it's somebody like that, then, you know,
right,
it'll be a little bit different.
Extreme,
but at the same time, like I still feel like if Jay-Z wanted to beat for me or Drake or whomever, somebody that's on a, you know, high level, I still would personally want to be there. That's no knock on their skill or their ability, because clearly somebody like that is, you know, they got it. But I just feel like
they really don't want you in the studio.
Right.
A lot of people don't. Well, a lot of people record on the road.
That's also true. That's also true.
See, like, so we was on a little run with T-Pain. T-Pain recorded on his tour bus.
Just like mobile, just pushing
Like,
it through.
I mean, this is something that I saw. No, I don't know how much he does it, but
that's good though. I mean, you killing two birds with one stone. You getting to where you're going 2, 3, 4, 5 hours, and
then at the same time, you just like
because with those mainstream art, Drake or Payne or Wayne or somebody like that, so you got if they on a tour.
Oh well, yeah,
that's different.
Yeah, that's different. Yeah, they don't have facts, so they got to get it in when they can.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, now I do respect an artist, their creative space. Like you just said, you know, some artists may not want people in the studio. So if it's a situation like that, then I get it. But I haven't seen an artist that wouldn't want the producer there. Now, if you just somebody that's kind of random, like a random partner or something like that, it's like, bro, I can believe it though. I can believe it.
That's just, but also because they record like late at night.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of artists don't go into the studio till after midnight.
Right, 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Until 8. And then they sleep all day and then
do it again.
Do it again.
Yeah.
You think artists is like that because the lifestyle has made it that way, or just because they think that they have to work at night, or do some artists just work better at night?
Well, I'm gonna answer that question judging off of me personally. I prefer to work at night. I don't know. I really don't know why. It's just at nighttime.
It's calming.
It's I guess it's more of a vibe.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Especially if I'm working from home, you know, I got lights and stuff like that. So just to build an ambiance, so to speak, and it really just fuels the creativity. Like, I make beats during the day too, but my preference is definitely to work at night.
You feel like you're more creative?
9, 10 p.m. on out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I prefer to just work at night.
And by you guys having this new digital capacity that we're in, you know, a lot of stuff was, I'm not a DJ or anything like that, but the digital world went from here to here. Now you have the metaverse and you have all this other stuff.
Yeah.
You know, even segueing into both of what you guys are, you know, Josh, you produced the beat, and the rapper or the artist pushes it out. Rick, you're the microphone. You're in the club. You're saying, hey, listen to this, whether he shot you a cool 100 to spin it at one time or shot you a couple of hundred or whatever the
That's
case may be.
but listen, that's a whole like
Right.
that's
So, and even with that being said, now we come to Randall.
Yeah, who got to bring the people out at night?
So Josh, you made it. Rick, you're the microphone. So now Randall is like, I'm the promoter. I have to make sure that 1, 2, 3, 4, 500 people hear this, whatever song it is. So as a promoter and just doing the nightlife, how do you do what you do, and what made you get into promoting?
Well, I got into promoting a long time ago, but to get on the side of business of it, it took like probably past couple of years, because I wanted to be able to bring grown people out to be able to come in an environment where they're safe. Right. Because the day kids are going to parties and they do so much wrong, so it hurts the quality of the grown people being able to enjoy the vibe and what DJ Ric Flair gonna bring and what Josh producing on somebody's album. So I'm just more like for the vibe and bringing people together. And I work so hard on that to put them in the building, because of the fact that, like, if I don't put them in the building, then they'll never know how good Rick is. Then they'll never know how good Josh was with producing on the album. So I try to put them in the building to give them that vibe where they're safe and they can hear that song or whatever that's out there that's popular and popping.
Is it hard for you to get people? I mean, now you have these digital platforms as well as Josh and Rick, but Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. With that being said, is it one of those things where you feel like it's easier for you to bring people together because you don't have to walk around and pass out flyers? Because it was a time where everybody was hustling and bustling.
Put them in the bottle shop, drop them card. But it is a lot better now. But the thing about it, you still have to put yourself out there where the people know who you are.
Right.
Because if people can't touch your vibe, then they ain't gonna come.
Do you think they follow you, or what do you think they follow you and what you do, or is it just, hey, I want to go out and go to the club?
I think my people follow me. I think because of what I bring, I put everything together. I go from the part of them coming into the door, to the part of them sitting down, to the DJ, to the servers, everything.
So you give them a real life experience?
Yes. Because I put myself in a place of where I say I'm an entertainer. And the reason why I say that, because, I go hard to give you an event that you gonna go home and say, I'm going back again.
Because you got to put everything together from like top to bottom.
I got to have I do the decorator, the
yeah.
venue, the decorator, the security, like the DJs, what kind of volume we gonna have. Right. Yeah. So I go into, I sit down and that be work. I get in there and help decorating everything. So like, I don't take off from it. So when at the end of the night, if I got, people think if you get a party of 500 people, that's the party. You give me 100 people,
that's the party.
Still got
and I get 100, and if I get 50 people, we gonna party just like it's 500.
But it's up to Rick, which I call him the microphone, to make sure that 50 people feel like 500 people.
That's why we connect. I'm only gonna, yeah.
What's my motto every time I step in your building? 1 to 1,000.
Yeah.
1,000.
And if you give me them 1,000, you gonna cuss me out because we not closing that.
That's right.
Because I'm there. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like when me and Clean connect, now it's the vibe. Now I'm finna give you I put everybody gonna have a bad night. Jordan had a bad night. Yeah. But I try to put everything into that. I put everything in the social.
Because if the people see, me or him give up on 2 or 3 people, that means that this ain't what we love doing. Right. Yeah. So you got to give them same 2 people the same thing you give 20 people.
To make them 2 people go say to the other 20 people, listen, it wasn't nobody there, but
I had a great time.
And see, that my mindset is, I use the term what the pastor say. Say when the pastor speak, he's telling you what's going on, so he wants you to go outside and bring somebody to the church.
Right.
Not you go home and you keep the message in the house.
Right.
So like when we doing what we do, we putting a message out there for you to go and take it to the next person. Right. And say, hey, I had a good time.
Yeah, I had a good time.
You know what I'm saying? How many people don't say how many people there after they say, I had a good time.
Right.
And I'm safe.
Before. Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm safe. So like that's where the people gonna come in the door and say, hey, I'm coming there.
Yeah, because this guy right here, living in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah.
Hey, man, where do we need to go? I'm not going anywhere where the radio says go.
No.
And it's like, it's not that place, but
Look,
hole in the wall spots, very nice spots.
If there's a commercial on the radio, I ain't going.
Cause it's too many things going on in there.
Nah,
It's two ways.
Okay.
It's two ways of it because you in the city.
Yeah.
Like I'm in the city, so you know you're gonna get two. This is what I always think about the radio. First of all, AG gonna soak up the radio.
Oh,
If AG got an event going on, you're gonna know about it because he gonna spend $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a week for the event.
yeah.
Now, also, you got the people that's established that's doing radio, but you also got the people who, man, we ain't got nobody in here, so let me go spend some money on radio. So, if you're a tourist in Atlanta, the first thing you're gonna do, let me put on the radio, let me see what's going on.
Right.
So that's the whole thing. But Mutt was right. Like if I hear it on the radio, nah, I ain't going.
Because it ain't gonna be my crowd, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? So, but if I know of some hidden gems here and there, some duck off spots, some hole in the wall, and hole in the wall can be like the best places to go. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, look abandoned on the outside and it get inside, it be like.
So where you go? Like what's your hidden gems?
I can't tell. I ain't gonna put it on tape.
You just got to be in the city call you.
Yeah, buddy. Boy.
I want to ask this question to all of you all. Everybody has their own different perspective on how, you do what you do. DJ, promoter, also
Producer.
a producer. A lot of people are gonna look at this and say, "How do you do that?" Now, Josh, you're fairly young. You've been producing for a number of years, and every person can just kind of briefly tell their story on how did you become involved in just being a producer? What made you say, I want to produce? Why not be a rapper? Why not be a DJ? What made you say, this is what I want to do?
Well, to be honest, let my family tell it, I've always been, a big fan of just music in general. Like my grandmother, rest her soul, she would always say when I was younger, because I was living with her at the time, she said I would always be in the kitchen just banging on her pots and pans with spoons, forks, knives, whatever I get my hands on to pretend like I'm banging the drum. She said that's what I did. So I guess naturally over time, it just evolved into me wanting to actually be like really hands-on with it from a realistic perspective, other than just banging on pots and pans or beating boxing on the table or whatever the case may be. So on top of that, I also had a speech impediment when I was young. I stuttered like really bad. So once I realized that music was like another avenue for me to express myself, then that's when I kind of gravitated to it and wanted to really tackle it and go all the way with it. Because I was like, shoot, if I can do this and get my thoughts and expressions off, I don't have to speak as much.
Oh man, you like Bumblebee off of Transformers.
So that's kind of how it turned into me being like, okay, this is what I want to do with my life. Those two stories kind of intertwined, and now I'm here still at it.
Definitely. Rick, DJ, 17 years, DJ Ric Flair, Nature Boy.
I never wanted to be a DJ.
Never.
I
heard you could hoop.
Yeah, you was a ball.
Hey man,
That's what they said. I'm still trying to figure that part out. That's what they said.
We'll do that. Okay, we'll talk about that off camera. Like for real, I was throwing parties since I was like 15.
Right.
CMD, our Rages, he was big, dancing on the party scene. So he took a couple of guys. We used to, go to the shop, get our shirts airbrushed. It was me, Black Larry, a couple of other guys. We like the biggest basketball players in the city. So we decided to throw parties. But he was fun to know.
Oh man.
So I was like, nah.
So you had the fame and notoriety behind you already?
Yeah, so I was like, bro, this ain't working. We can do it ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Not knocking him, but
Right.
Once you learn the business, and I went to college to play basketball. I used to come back home, and DJ Rude was our DJ. And he was like, man, you ought to DJ. And I was like, man, I don't want to DJ. It's boring. So he was like, well, you can host. So that's when he was at the Rock.
Oh man.
So I was hosting. I was coming home every weekend hosting. But I was infatuated with the craft, with the Technique 1200, the cutting, the scratching. So I was like, all right, I want to learn. So, he was teaching. So I got, my mom bought me my first piece of equipment. So I started doing a lot of stuff on my own. And he had to go on vacation.
And you was up for bat.
He said, bro, he told Mr. Dunn at the Rock, he said, I think you're ready. He said, it's 2,000-3,000 people in here on the Saturday. He said, I think you're ready.
Right.
That's pressure there.
It was like a drug. It's like fame.
It is, but you gotta look at it by two ways. It is a drug. It's a bad drug when you start getting that much attention real quick.
Right.
And at the same time, like I wanted to get better. Like he'll kill me if he were here because he said I say the same story. Skills. I went to Skills like, hey man, I want to, because Skills, Wiz, Smooth, Tremaine, Terminator, like everybody had a different.
Right.
Like, some guys had bass, some had, but as far as like mixing, cutting, scratching, Skills, Wiz, Smooth, they're my guys. They're my favorites.
Right.
So I went to Skills and I was like, hey man, I want to. He was like, man, you gotta learn on your own. No, but and I appreciate him for this because he said, man, you on a controller. We use 1200. I said, well, I'm gonna go buy some. He said, I'm gonna sell you an old pair I got. I bought them from him.
Well, at least he provided some type of
Right.
equipment for you to segue into you getting to where.
I made sure he didn't see me. So the next time he saw me,
Yeah.
he had to do that. Because I went and I worked for it. That's what the game has changed. Like, it sucks right now because you can go get a laptop and think you're a DJ.
Oh yeah, I see
Man,
that.
I've seen.
It's crazy you say that
buttons.
because so many people think they can just go get a laptop and start making beats.
Right.
I'm not knocking it, but it's really an art to it. Like
No,
people,
knock it
what I'm
because
saying?
they need to get off their ass and just do what
No,
you're
but
doing.
see, it's crazy
honestly,
that you
crazy.
said that. It's crazy that Jada said because we're going to go back to what you were talking about with Clean. By now, the social media versus when you had to get out. See, we had to hustle.
Oh, flyers every day.
Like back then, like I say back then, like I'm 50. But at some point in time, the promoters were null and void.
Right.
You went to the club to see the DJ. You went to see King Lee, Terminator, Skills, Smooth. You didn't. It wasn't no promoters. But at time came, that's when the promoters snuck in, and that's not knocking any promoters, like, because all promoters do an excellent job, but social media made it easier, because you didn't have to go out here in this 100-degree weather, pass out their flyer, because you done put this money up for this venue. It wasn't, oh, I can do this and let go 50-50 on the door. It was all or nothing. Like Terminator, Earthquake, King Lee, all them guys, either you gonna get them the whole door or half it. It wasn't no.
Promoters help the club, and I didn't understand it, and Round, I definitely want you to speak on that. But one thing, interesting fact that you said, I just want to kind of jump on, and this is for both of you guys. Standing either in the corner or on the stage, or in your case, on the stage, and you're looking at the entire crowd. There has to be some type of adrenaline rush or something when you say, damn, I did a good job. You don't want to drink. You don't want to eat. You just want to sit there and just do this. You got 3,000 people rocking. Damn, I did this. You got 3,000 people rocking with a push of a button. Yeah.
So,
my first time. Well, I'm gonna tell you my first time. I'm gonna tell you this story. So back in 2012, I wanted to throw a homecoming party. So some people said, "Well, you ain't go to Fort Valley State, man. Why you gonna throw a homecoming party?" I said, "Cause I'm from Fort Valley." I was like, "Ain't nothing going on Friday."
Shout out to Fort Valley State University.
I said, I'm from here. I said, you know how many people I don't help that went to school out there? Right. So I say, I want to do a party. So the first part I did was I did a black and white party. in the same building, Austin Theater. It was the lady that was there over. She was kind of old, so I paid all my money. She said, "You didn't win, did you?" I said, "No, ma'am." She said, "I tell you what, I'm gonna let you come back and do the next party, and it's gonna be on me." So I went home and I said, "You know what? I got to do this party." So I said, "I'm gonna do that Friday homecoming." Yeah. So when I first got started on the whatever, every penny that I had taken and put into that party. I was at home on my knees praying and everything. It's no story, man. I was standing in the trail out in the country. I said, "You know what? If I win, I win." Yeah. So I got so I left from, because I love to be involved. So I left from helping decorate and everything. I got home, I took a shower, still put on my clothes. So about 10 o'clock, I stand up, I said, "It's time." When I got to the door, my phone rang. They said, "Man, we don't ran out of change." I stopped. I said, "Huh?" They said, "We don't ran out of change. We got no change and nothing." I said, "Let me try to go get some."
This is the night of the party?
It's the night of the party. At 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
They said, "We ain't got no change."
Early.
I said, "For real?" They said, "Nah." I had put like everything I had, I put it up. I said, "Okay, let me go get some change." So I went to the liquor store. So I got some change and everything, whatever, and I went. When I turned the corner, it wasn't nowhere to park.
Great feeling. That feeling.
I stand outside the car. I said, "No." You gotta think about it. I had lost on 2 parties, back to back. I put everything up.
Just that consistency, because you ain't give up.
And I wasn't gonna give up. I said, I ain't giving up. Right. So when I did that party right there, out of all the parties I ever did, that was one. But that party right there just put me in a place where, like, I'm gonna keep going.
I can do this.
I can do this. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I understand like where he come from with the DJs or whatever. Cause back in the day, when they used to be at the 305 in the Derby, man, Terminators come through and do his thing. We loved it. Yeah. We used to follow him everywhere. And you know what I'm saying? But when I got into it or whatever, I got into it because I couldn't afford the club.
Right. It was a personal.
It was a personal situation with me. I'm being for real. I had a problem. Yeah. My problem was I can't afford the 305 or the Derby. But Lil Jon, God bless the dead, was like, "I'm gonna give you a chance, you do parties. You manage this right here." Yeah. So I was like, "Okay." But I was like, I can't afford the club, so guess what? I'm gonna go after the club another way. Yeah. I'm gonna show you that I'm the reason why the food gonna sell or something, because I'm a part of it. That was my goal.
Does a club, I guess nowadays you could say this, but does the club need a promoter?
Yes. Because nowadays a name of a club don't get the crowd no more. Because every time you turn around, somebody invent a name, and people only go look into the building because of the name. And this is small around here. Now, if you're in Atlanta, it's a different situation. Right. But around here, it's small. So like once they get a good grip of it and go in and party for a little while, their mindset changes. Like, man, I can go home and sit and do this. But when you give them something to go along with coming into that club, that's what make the club be able to have a vibe behind it, because it's needed. You know what I'm saying?
More so the prices.
Yeah.
Cause they looking like, well, I'm gonna spend $200 for
what
a bottle.
You giving me?
Go get it for $50.
Yeah.
Or why would I pay $10, $12 for a drink when I could just go buy a bottle? Which, like I said, me personally, like now I love the promoters because it take a lot of pressure off, you know, and it, to me, like, standing in front of all them people, like it is an adrenaline. Like I did the Rock for 5 years, no miss Saturday. I turned down so much money on outside because I didn't know. Like I lived for Saturday.
Right.
And then when I learned how to say, I'm working this job, and every 2 weeks I done made this on a Saturday.
Yeah.
Right.
No, that's a wrap.
Right.
That's a wrap. But, you know, that go from, and like I say, I just always try to give people a show. Like, how the first time we met.
Right. No, the first time I heard you DJ. And I mean, I throw the homecoming party. And when I heard you DJ that one time, I said,
it was an Albany statement. My equipment was messing up.
Yeah. He DJ'd so well at it was a homecoming party in Albany.
Where?
At Albany State, at the Hilton. He DJ'd so well.
Was I there?
No, you didn't go.
Dang.
he DJed so well with his equipment messing up. I said, I still want him to come DJ my party. And the next year, I was like,
Are you
man,
sure I went there?
nah, he wasn't there.
Oh, okay.
But it was crazy. I mean, so even with you guys having this platform, and there are going to be a lot of young people that look at you promoter, Josh, you producing, Rick. Some guys are going to say, where do I buy my first piece of equipment? How do I get started? And I know we have digital platforms out there now. Is there a thing where DJs, producers, promoters, do you guys talk and just kind of come together on stuff? Because it seems like everybody needs everybody. I know in the Black community, we're so individualistic. We don't want help. We want to do everything by ourselves. And
I wouldn't say we because we have a mindset of
we do
togetherness and community. So
right.
I wouldn't say that, I wouldn't categorize it like that.
It's twofold. It's like, I want you to help me. Right.
Like a good chunk of us, so to speak, like,
because a lot of us, when we get on, you forget about the person that helped you. You just, oh man, I just want to do it my way. But the question I was just trying to get at was, like, do you all communicate? Like, do DJs communicate? Do promoters communicate? Josh, do you get on a track with somebody who's another producer to say, hey, let's collab on this because the picture can be bigger? I know a lot of times when you throw a party, you'll have two DJs.
And I do that because...
And that's a big togetherness factor.
Yeah. I do that because of the fact that I feel like it ain't about me winning by myself. My winning comes from everybody that's in the building.
Right.
The security guard, the bartenders, everybody. Yeah. Because of the fact that, like, they all make up the party. Mm-hmm. Like, people don't understand, like, you can have a whole building. But if you the only person in the building, how you gonna serve and treat everybody with something different if it's only one of you?
Right.
So I get on the phone, I wanna know, Ric Flair, what you think about this? And he gonna tell me, and I'm gonna listen. Whether it's, nah, man, they ain't gonna make it, I'm listening to that. I ain't gonna go jump out there in the river because of the fact that, hey man, this me, I don't care about it. I take that in and I come back different with something else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Almost every day.
Every day. I get on the phone, man, I be back and forth. We got text messages, group text messages. Like,
it's about any and everything.
About any and everything.
There are things that you hear that he doesn't, and vice versa.
Right.
Yeah.
Wednesday night situation, their crew. Like, they gave me the night. I told Dez, I'm gonna give it to Clean because I know what I can bring, but I also know that two is better than one. So if we can we can be a force. Like, I think they try to be greedy. Like, that's how I was popular from shooting a basketball, not being a DJ.
Right.
But I just took that and I always try to help people. Like, I never, it wasn't no, oh, I could do them. Like, I got a team of DJs, like, up under me. Slim, Potter V, Drewski, Axel, AD. Like, I help. They love when I go out of town.
Oh, because they got an opportunity.
But they moving themselves.
Right.
But when I go out of town, I'm booked 6 days a week, bro. That's a blessing.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
But when I go out of town, like, all right, Slim, you got to go to crew on Wednesday. And you got to go to social on Saturday.
Yep.
Right.
Hey, CJ, you got to cover their brunch. Hey, partner, you got to go to Vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a win-win.
They probably applauding your success
right.
for real.
Like, but I ain't done. I ain't done. And the whole thing about it, like, I'm going to give him his flowers while we on this camera.
For real.
So they gave me a whole different light. Because during the pandemic, I was like, nah, bro. Like, that's a rap. Like, ain't no money coming in. You know what I'm saying? Like, but if Jake could rap, he would be Jay-Z, Drake in it. Because I'm going to tell you why.
I can't rap, y'all.
Me and Jay were on the phone 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. Jay will come up with an idea. He'll call me and say, bro, what you think about this? Me and Jay on the phone like that time of night. So he's thinking. So when we open back up, Jay called me and said, hey, man, I want to do this. But, they have the capacity, this, that, and the third. I said, Jay, just give me Sundays. You ain't even got to pay me. Right. He'd say that. You ain't got to pay me. Right. Like, I'm going to give you these 30 people you asking for. But when this capacity drop, I'm gonna give you the 100 people that you want. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the thing of it is, man, like, you know, a lot of times people, what I learned by, you know, doing social, I learned I can't do it by myself. You know, whether I'm bartending, cooking, being a host, whatever it is, just learning the entire business. Even when you promote, you bring a whole new perspective of people that come. And that's something that I'm appreciative of. When you DJ, you bring a whole new perspective of people, and you all touch so many. And that's why I asked that question. You know, like it's a togetherness factor. It's everybody brings something to the table, so we all can eat. You know, like even with Josh, Josh had. I want to ask that question to you, Josh. You are coming up in the era right now where everything is, I would say 95% of what you do is digital. You know,
Yeah.
whether it's Apple Music, Spotify, all this other stuff.
Mhm.
There are people looking at you trying to figure out how did you do what you did and in which direction are you going? What do you see for the future of producing? What is your end goal or what are you trying to accomplish?
My end goal is definitely being one of the biggest producers ever, and I feel like it's obtainable. And I also don't feel, I feel like it's, super realistic because, having the ability to do something is half the battle, but you got to have the drive and the work ethic to go along with it. So I feel like for one, what I'm saying, the Most High wouldn't have blessed me with the talent for nothing. At some point it has to, make sense why I do what I do. But I'm unapologetically trying to be the biggest producer possible. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I personally feel like I can compete with the best of them, and I say that humbly.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I definitely feel like, at some point in time, I want my name to be ringing bells everywhere.
Say it arrogantly.
And but at the same time, I'm not in. I didn't get in this lane that I'm in for fame or notoriety. I got into it because I love what I do. But it gets to a point where, once you put so much work in, you got so much love for what you do, you want to see it pay off on a big scale. And I feel like the space that I'm in now, like it's not playtime no more. Like I'm really coming to knock the door down.
Yeah.
Because I know I got what it takes. So I take that approach with like every beat I make, I can see it being whatever song that is attached to that particular production. I feel like, I want it to be the biggest thing ever. So I take that approach every time.
Is there a ceiling on DJ? Is there a beat that you make that is that beat and nothing can top it? Is there a party that you throw and you sit back and say, you know what, I did that? Is there a time when you DJ and it's like you just drop the mic and it's like, okay, is there a ceiling on what you guys do? Period.
I try to outdo myself every beat. Every beat I try to get harder every time. Like I never get complacent.
And I try to make every idea that I put into a party be well, like I gotta come back with something else. Gotta come back with something else.
Yeah.
Because I don't want you putting on just a regular outfit every now and then. I want you to put it on.
You want people to step in.
You gotta
have
step
a good
in,
time.
tell her that thing up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want it. It major.
Everybody's avenue involves fashion. I mean,
in some type of capacity.
Right.
But they gonna. Josh is kind of because they gonna always look at the producer like he behind the computer, but like with Clean, like they gonna look at the first thing gonna do with Clean, walk in the door, they gonna look and see what he got on. He clean.
That's your name.
Hey.
Yeah.
So for the people that don't know, and I think it's funny as hell, because I've been knowing this guy for 22 years. I was like, Clean. I was like, in the hell do they call you that? But then again, we're in the South. So I'll let you tell them. How did you get your name? Randall, but nickname Clean.
So it used to be where everybody go outdoors and play. And I'd be like, man, I ain't getting my clothes dirty. and my uncles, they used to went to call me saying, man, that Clean. And they went from there. And I just always I've been a fan of fashion from day one. Growing up well, you know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't have much, you know what I'm saying? Mom working hard. They try to take care of everything, you know what I'm saying? Well, so like, you weren't finna dirt up my classics. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I know what she did to get them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Needless to say,
I took all that in like that. So.
no, yeah, needless to say, that's one of the reasons why we do this show, like Kicks and Culture. It's the fashion piece, but then again, Rick, I'm looking at your shoes. Josh, I see you rocking the dunks. You know, clean definitely with the threes on, and we do that to segue into what do you do? What's your occupation? You know, like what do you like? If I see you on stage and you got on some beaters, I'm like, yeah, you DJ because I know you're behind the DJ booth.
Right.
But then again, if you DJ and I see you with, you know, like the military fours on, I'm like, oh, he rock. Like, okay. And you DJ, it's some fashion there. And like you said, the first thing we're doing is we're looking at what he has on in the door. Busted
Right.
promoter, come on. Your probably gonna be whack. That's the first thing I'm thinking.
But listen, though, I'm gonna kind of piggyback off of what you said a few seconds ago. Like, so nowadays, appearance probably matters more than it ever have. Whether you a DJ, promoter, producer like myself, like whenever you go, like, okay, myself personally, like I try to carry myself now how I see myself or where I see myself going. Like I'm already trying to like train myself mentally to carry myself a certain way, speak a certain way, present myself a certain way. So whenever I do platforms like this, so I go out, you know what I'm saying, I got to be in producer mode.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You never want a person to see you slipping when you consider yourself to be somebody or you're working to be somebody. So I take that approach. Like every time I step out, I'm gonna have on something. I'm gonna have my necklaces on. I'm gonna have glass. I'm gonna look like somebody. So when I step in the club or a lounge or whatever the case may be, somebody got to say, okay, I don't know him. He got to be somebody.
It's something about him.
He got to be
But I got a
somebody.
question for everybody. So how y'all really feel about fashion? Because like we all older, you know what I'm saying? So it goes back to the point to where like 2006, 2007 when I was at the Rock. Like I've been a sneakerhead. I've been wearing Jordans since I was 12. You know. So, but back then it was like, okay, so the Jordans come out. They already got the shirt. They already got the shorts. Basically, you got your whole outfit. Right, yeah. Or, you know, you can hit them with the, you know, tall tee. Yeah.
3 for 20.
3 for 20 tall tee. You know what I'm saying? Like, so now it's like, back then with the shoe 200, you a cool 250 out the door because you got some shorts or some jeans, you know, t-shirt, hat, whatever the case may be. To now, shit, when them Jordans come out, well, you finna spend a cool $1,000 to get that outfit. By the time you get the Jordan, the damn Gucci belt, and it's so much extra. So how y'all feel about, you know what I'm saying, like fashion now versus back when we were growing up?
I think the main thing is like the difference between like the fashion, because you have some people who can come into a store and look at a mannequin and be like, give me that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but then there are some people who can come into a store and just say, all I need here is retros, because at the house I got X, Y, and Z. They can put together their style versus saying that I just want a whole Nike outfit. You know what I'm saying? Like, because if you see somebody with a whole Nike outfit on, you be like, man, what buddy got on? Like, I don't know about this. So like understanding like the fashion piece on it, you gotta understand exactly what your style is, because like I can wear something and you can wear something and be totally different. Like DJ Ric Flair, you can go out, you can wear a black t-shirt, blah blah blah, and you can rock it. And I put on a black t-shirt. They be like, God dog, but his shoulders ain't up right. You know what I'm saying? So
I feel like everybody got their own lane though. Right. You know, so what works for me may not work for you. You or Clean, whoever the case may be. So I feel like everybody got their own niche when it comes down to fashion. But
we can I can put on that black t-shirt and be like Josh and have on that jury. See, that jury hit different. That jury hit different.
yeah, because accessories is something, because
Facts.
you know what I'm saying, because this is like, you know, I can be stylish with an Apple Watch, or I can be stylish with a Richard Mille on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But so it just like hitting on that spectrum, because I'm gonna be honest with you, and this is just me. there's a lot of people who have money that can't dress.
Oh, it's a
You know
lot.
what I'm
It's a
saying?
lot of people with
Because-
money that don't want to dress.
No,
Yeah.
because this is my thing. People with money think that they got to go out and buy Balenciaga or whatever, and so Balenciaga, Prada, whomever, they can make something, and you'd be like, man, what the hell is this?
Right.
But it's a
And I
name.
can go in
Yeah,
H&M and
exactly.
blow them
Buying
away
the
with a
brand.
$50
Exactly.
outfit.
So if I'm worth 200 million or whatever, and I go in H&M and get me a $29 shirt, I mean, look at me.
But that's society. Society feels like because you worth 20 million,
you gotta
you
go
gotta
out.
show it.
Yeah.
And you don't have to
Yeah.
show
I
it.
saw this thing with Jay-Z. When Jay-Z first came into the game, you know, he had the box haircut or whatever. We had the grill and the watches and everything. And then it just said Jay-Z over time. Jay-Z did not have on one necklace. Maybe a watch.
I seen him
So-
courtside at
The Hawks game recently, he didn't have on. He just had on the watch,
all
nothing
black
else.
and some
Nothing.
Pumas.
Right. So
Like you know what I'm saying? So it just some people who once they have that stature or once they have that status and grow up in that social economic status and they just say, oh, well, shoot, I made X, Y, and Z type of dollars or whatever, think that they got to go out and buy all this. No, man.
But like I said, that's society. Because I did a lot of shows with Lil Baby when he first started. And Lil Baby ran his bag up with just some designers, jeans, polo tee,
that's it.
and some ones and a fitted. But he ran his bag up before he
Yeah,
ain't doing like.
and that's it. And he found his lane. He
But I
found
feel
his-
like guys, like we have the ease, like people who get money, we have the easiest way to do that because we can go get a couple pair of jeans, plain polo T-shirt, and just have on the new shoes that come out and some jewelry, and it's gonna be the same thing for you going to buy this Gucci this, Prada that, Louis this, like.
Because I can have $50 million right now. I love Nike. Right. So I'm just gonna
Right.
I'm gonna have
still-
$50 million. I'm gonna still have on my Nike.
But
My watch might upgrade.
But
My
most people
necklaces
don't-
might
most
upgrade.
people
but I'm
don't feel
still
that
have.
way.
Yeah, it's all.
I got
But
big time DJs who don't even feel like, I'm like, bro, you really? Yeah. Because you come in to put on the show. I understand people come to see you, but my motto was, if I don't leave here sweating, I ain't gave you a show.
show,
So
yeah.
I'm not about to.
That's that
and
basketball in you, know.
I was like that. I was like when I first started DJing, rock man, polo down, jewelry, and I'm like, okay, it's hot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like moving forward, I'm gonna tell you, when I start being around clean, I'm like, okay, clean can make the simplest
Yeah.
thing look
Pop.
good just because look right now.
He will H&M you to death.
But when he put on them shades,
Yeah. Okay, jumping into that, segue into this. One thing that we love to do on the show, Holy Grail. Every single time, it's Kicks and Culture. Every single time any of our guests come on the show and we have this panel, we gotta ask, what is your Holy Grail, Josh?
the Jordan 1 Chicago. That's the best shoe in the world to me. Like if
Okay.
I could have 100 pair of them, I would get 100 pair. I love that shoe. I got the 2015 pair, the high and the low, and I wear them to death. So that's my personal favorite, the 2015 Chicago. Well, I won't say 2015 pair. That's the pair that I own, but any version of the Chicago Jordan 1, that's my favorite.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Randall. Holy Grail. I know you are the sneaker guy. You are the fashion guru. Everything.
Man.
So it has to be one shoe that you have,
Or two. It could
Or
be,
two.
Yeah.
that you have, or you don't have, and it changed your life when you got it.
Oh man, I'm gonna say the cigar pack.
Okay.
That's a
Sevens.
yep, cause that was the first pack. That was the first pack that you presented to me
Gotcha.
and said, "Here you go."
Here you go.
So
We
I
won.
think that's
It's a
one.
cigar and some more.
That was one shoe where like we sat down in the back, and we was able to know like we had that shoe. So
The sevens, right? The
that's-
sevens?
Yep.
Yes, yeah.
That was like a 10 o'clock at night. 10 o'clock at night cleaning up, and looking at that shoe. So that shoe right there means a
Rick,
lot
you
to
on
me.
the scene all the time, man. You DJ. You behind the scenes too, so nobody gets to look at your shoes all the time. But when they come to the DJ booth, but kid friendly, holy grail. What is it? It's something. Either you have it or you want it.
I have both of them.
Okay.
I just never stuck my foot in.
Oh,
The 11s.
Which?
Space Jam and the Breads. Classic.
Yeah.
Like I haven't stuck my foot in them because I feel like I'm gonna be disrespectful. I'm a step in. It's just like when you got this shoe, it's like, okay, I don't think it's gonna come out for like 2 more years. So let me just sit
On it for
Let
a
me
second.
preserve it.
Yeah.
So when I see a date, oh yeah, we all in. 'Cause I know they coming back out. So yeah.
but now we definitely appreciate you guys coming on, man. This is the music portion, the music episode. So just wanted to put some people in place, trying to put it all in perspective as far as, learning about the producing, learning about promotion when you walk into the building, what you expect from the club owner and what you expect from, whatever you put out. Exactly. And then just make sure that the people are okay. And then Rick, you definitely keep the crowd rocking. Man, we'll appreciate it. Definitely, we have you guys back again.
Most
sometime
definitely.
soon.
Most definitely.
All right.
You only worth what you know. What would you learn to save your soul? You got a dream, now make some goals. Plant your seeds and watch it grow.
Another good segment.
Another good segment.
All right. So today we talked about music. Had 3 exceptional guests today. Josh, the producer. DJ Ric Flair.
Woo!
And our boy Clean.
Hey.
That's a hell of a nickname, that boy.
Shit, Rick Flair is a champion, but he can DJ his butt off. I mean, if you've ever seen him and he's in the party, he's a hell of a DJ.
Hey man, I gotta go to one of his parties, man.
Yeah, I've seen him do it, so I felt the vibration.
Yeah. So that was a good segment, man. Like, I think Josh really dropped some gems on.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that he does it for the love.
Exactly.
It's not like he's in it for money, but at the same time, he's gonna be the best of the best, and he wants to be compensated.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I think that him being compensated is gonna be necessary.
Yeah, I think, and as young as he is, I think he's already forward or ahead of the game, so to speak. He has a lot of creativity. I've been doing it for a while, long time. So I think the creativity behind what he does, a lot of people can learn from that. And he's really an attention seeker about his craft. He's really honed in. He has that tunnel vision. So, but yeah, man, Clean, one of my best friends.
Well, I tell you what, when we go to one of his parties, he definitely gonna be clean.
Ah, man.
Clean,
Definitely.
Yeah, but
never a dull moment. Every time I see him, he's dressed to a T, honestly.
Oh,
So definitely with that one. But this is the segment where we say, all right, you have to understand, we bring out 1 kick or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, whatever it is.
we try to keep it at 1.
We try to keep it at 1, but we got a lot of shoes. But we try to do this, so it just kind of takes us back to a moment, takes us back to a time where we're just saying, hey, what were you doing at that particular time? How does this kick? How do you live through this kick? How does it influence you? So,
Man, let me tell you what I got. This right here is gonna be a classic. It brought me back.
ooh,
The summer.
ooh,
I walked out the corner store. When I seen them, I didn't even know what they were. I had to be probably 18 years old.
right?
Couldn't afford them. But then I found out that they was sold at one of the local shoe stores. I think at the time they was $69 or $79.
Long way from that now,
Oh
bro.
my goodness, still couldn't afford them though. But hey, when I started working at Foot Action, I started collecting these things like bag cakes, boy. So yeah, so this is my kick of the day. Took me back to 1995.
95.
The summer of 1995. Coming out the corner store, I seen it on the guy's feet.
It's a dope Air Max 95. He killed it with the Georgia color.
Absolutely.
That's exactly what we were talking about. Because the Falcons wouldn't win it then either.
Oh man, get off the top. What you got? What you got? What
So
you
man,
got?
my kick of the day. Actually, I got a couple of kicks. So, you know my favorite team.
Oh, I know we.
Ever, all time. Like, if I could, so I say this. I'm never starstruck about anybody. There's nobody I can meet where I'm like, oh, yeah, you know.
Yeah.
You give me Diddy, I'm like, whoa.
Okay.
I just love who he is, party throwing, all white personality.
But not
boom.
starstruck though.
Nah, it's like, hey man, you know, we good.
Yeah.
Michael Vick, best athlete I've never seen. Because I had never seen him in person.
Yeah.
But every Sunday glued to the TV. But man, you know I'm a LeBron fan.
I know.
But you gotta give me the Fab Five.
I know.
Michigan, 1991-92 Fab Five. The best ever. We didn't win the championship 2 times. It's okay. But
What you got?
man, I'm bringing out
You
the
got
bag.
a bag.
But man, I'm going with this one. So first off, I got the Jimmy King.
Oh.
I'm telling you, I was in the 9th grade. I'm there. This is the vintage. This jersey is 30 years old.
I know. I remember when you got it.
Man, look, Jimmy King, for you guys who don't know, he was part of the Fab Five, so I got that.
Then you lay it out.
But then again, you know, you gotta rock these. You gotta understand that we played in these with the black socks and the whole gear.
And the crazy part about it was a controversy when they wore it.
Exactly. So
They was too hood.
yeah, we were too hood, you know, whatever
Yeah.
the case. But I was from the hood, so I didn't care. I'm hooping like them. So we got to do the Barclays, the Air Max Barclays. And then if you go a little bit further, we're going with the Huaraches. And then if you go a little bit further, they came out, they put the 5 tons on the back. So I'm rocking these two. Exactly. So I'm killing it with the Huarache game. And then, I got to give you props for this one. Because you got me on this one.
I did.
You got me on this
You
one.
didn't see it coming.
You damn near made me cry. Dude, bro made me a shirt. I'm talking about we got the whole team on there. I'm never gonna wear it, so we'll never get musty.
Okay. Well, that's
So definitely, man, my kick of the day is I'm a Michigan fan. I'm a Michigan fanatic. You know, it's like I tell my son this all the time. I mean, when I saw the Fab Five, the documentary.
Yeah.
God damn it, Chris, whatever you call that time out. It's okay though. It's okay. It's fine. I'm still trying to deal with the pain, but I'm okay. You see I'm over here shaking.
Yeah.
Stop shaking. I'm okay. All right, man. So kick of the day, I'm a Michigan fan. I'm definitely, you know, I love UGA, Georgia, all that, but this right here, it can't be replaced, man. So like, I got it.